What up, y'all? It's Metaphor back for more. To kick the roll, represent everyone as you and I verse. We're gonna do a video on the moon and Virgo. And Virgo, being ruled by Mercury in the mutable earth sign, it's gonna be adaptable and being able to be practical and logistical upon other people's ways of emotions. So whenever you go into the way that you feel, it's gonna be in detail. It's gonna be about health, wellness, routine, pattern, things like that, and that's the definition of the details. So the moon in Virgo could be a very critical alignment. So you feel comfortable being critical or being in the details of something. So with this mercurial alignment, you appreciate intellectual conversation, but that mundane kind of conversation where an individual can't take you to a higher height. Pardon me. I got loose. Thanks. Had some bottles in front of my light. But yeah, so you having these intellectual conversations to bring you to a higher height, that's going to work out for you, and you're going to appreciate that for the most part. That make you feel comfortable. Mercurial alignment, like I say. But those conversations about Jupiterian natures, for example, those far out conversations, those conversations, you can't really pass the details together. They don't make logistical and practical sense. So it's in the realm of fire, for example. Like the moon being in Virgo would be a square to the Gemini alignment and a square to the Sagittarius alignment, and opposite to the Pisces. So their way of adapting to other people's ways of emotions and visions, it could be a learning process, and it could also be, an opposite alignment as well with the Pisces. So, like I said, with the moon in Virgo, though, due to them being so far in the details, you can expect an individual with the moon in Virgo in their natal chart to be very detail-oriented, like I say, or be critical about oneself. And the reason why they're so critical to others is because they're critical of oneself in the first place. They feel comfortable being their own worst critic first. And due to that, they actually become off very critical to others because they want other people to improve as well. So if you really look into the details about where they're coming from emotionally, okay, then you can make logistical and practical sense of it. But if you don't have that, premonition, or you don't have these things in your awareness that, okay, maybe this individual just got a moon Virgo, you see what I mean? Or maybe their ascendant's in Virgo, that's just personally how they are, you see what I mean? So these are ways you can look in someone else's natal chart and say that, okay, this is the reason why this individual is that way, and I can't really take it too personal about what they're saying. This is just how they speak in general. This is where they feel comfortable. And if it's in your own natal chart, you could say, okay, maybe I am a bit too critical of others. Maybe I am a bit too detail-oriented about my routine, and something has to be on a schedule, and, oh, is that actually healthy for me, and this, that, and the third, you see what I mean? So it's like, the moon being here is either you feel comfortable with the individuals that shows their worst side at all times so they don't change up, or you appreciate the individual that kind of hide that stuff from you. It's one of the two is what I'm finding with the Virgo signs. But and like I said, with it being the moon here, it's what you feel comfortable with, where your emotions come from, your reactions, responses. And you think about, like, that's in someone else's natal chart. Then I spoke about it being in your own natal chart. Maybe try to be a little bit more, don't be so brash. Like, be a little bit more caring. Use that Cancer, a little bit more Cancer energy. Use your 11th house in the way that you associate a bit more. So that'll help you out. So like, think about, okay, do I actually want to associate with this individual? And then you can kind of say, do I care about this? And then boom, you know what I mean? That'll be that 11th house Cancer helping out your moon. You see what I mean? Because every single sign has their own house system to it. You can look at it, oh, okay, like this is a different thing from this. But at the end of the day, you want to look at your rising sign houses. You see what I mean? So, where this moon falls in your areas of life. And you could actually say, like, oh, okay, the sun has its own transition, and then it has its own houses within that, and that's how we calculate our own. So that's to explain that. And if we look at the moon in Virgo transiting through the sky, and we're actually experiencing a moon in Virgo, this is a time to be very detailed, a time to be critical upon your own self. Like, am I actually getting all my thoughts out there? Am I bringing everything to the forefront that I actually want to, get out mentally? You see what I mean? To myself, like, have I written everything down? Like, okay, am I on the actual practical schedule that I created in this time period? For example, if it was like a Pisces season, this would be a full moon. So it's like, okay, do I have a schedule that's implemented? Am I getting my dreams out there? That'd be a good time to calculate that. And if you look at maybe like a square alignment, you'd have like a sun in Sagittarius. It'd be being detailed about the visions and the knowledge and wisdom. So like the details of the wisdom that you're initiating, not initiating, but that you've adapted to, because it's a mutable sign. So these are ways that you could look at the moon transiting through the sky in Virgo. So during any season though, that'll be a detailed time, a time to see, okay, have I brought all my thoughts to the forefront, like I say, with that mercurial alignment. You want to see if I spoke to everybody I need to speak to, are all my details ironed out? Can I actually take a rest now that it's resting on my schedule? You see what I mean? And this is like things that you want to be aware of. Is like, is my health in order? You see what I mean? Like maybe whenever the moon's in Virgo, it might be good time for your monthly checkup. You see what I mean? Like going to the doctor, your health practitioner, your family practitioner, one of those options that you have. Just like keep those kind of things in mind. It's like this is the sign of herbs and health and all those real good teas and things like that. You want to have some good tea with the moon in Virgo. You mean it'll help you out. It's a left field thing. It's a tangent. But hotter fluid is better for your body than colder fluid. Colder fluid is like a dessert kind of thing. Shout out to Dolo Pilot Man on breaking that down. On the just the substance of everything. You see what I mean? Like if you drink something hot, it'll go through your body faster because your body doesn't have to heat it up to actually process it through your body. If you drink something cold, your body has to warm it up, and then to even be able to process it. So yeah, it's just a left field thing. But that's all Moon and Virgo things, you know what I mean? It's all the critique, the practicality. So yeah, much love, and holla back at me.